Hello. Just getting everything started up. Figured I'd pop it in and chat while I do it. So we got AG. He'll watch later, hopefully. KJ, VMC, Brian Robinson, Jim Thompson, Smoker, Jimmy, Badger, New Marshall. Welcome. Start getting these drinks as I see them. I saw BH put Black Cherry 28. Got KJ Starry 30. New Marshall Mountain Dew 39. And Brian had Fanta 35. Hey, you finally got that. Nice. VMC has Fresca Peach 32. Got AG with a Blackberry Fresca 40. Mike Schleiz, welcome. Pepsi Cherry 040. And Badger says 7-Up Tropical Zero. I don't see a year from you, but you're welcome to put that in if you'd like. Mark is Fresca Peach 38. And Gatita, welcome. Pepsi 037. And David Rubin, Pepsi 039. And let's see, Smoker says Black Cherry 36. Bellows says Black Cherry 38. And Jimmy says Dr. Pepper Cream Soda 35. Garrett Barks 36. And Badger says 41. Okay. And we got 74. That's your box tonight. Fanta Orange 028. Hopefully we find you some. Let's see. Captain Vic, Pepsi 037. Yes, 40 Black Cherry. Jim Thompson, 7-Up Tropical 037. Yeah, I can always get something else for you if you need. Michael Rose, Fanta Orange 39. And Yenny is Dr. Pepper Cream Soda 38. And Marsh, Pepsi Cherry 038. David Canham, Starry 041. Alyssa, Barks 41. Chris Helms, Mountain Dew 039. Just going to run down the list real quick just to make sure, see if I missed anybody. I have AG74, Bellows, BH, Captivate, Chris Helms, Garrett C, Gatita, Jim Thompson, Jimmy Licari, KJ, Michael Rose, Mike Schleiz, New Marshall, Smoker, VMC, Yenny, N. Marsh, Mark Spafford, David Canham, David Rubin, Badger, and Alyssa. And Brian Robinson. So if you didn't hear your name, let me know. Over. Tim Ivins says Barks 42. Joe Minnick, Fresca Peach 30. Awesome. Start getting some of these coins out for you. Coin Cody, Mountain Dew 038. Got two Buffaloes there. Got a V nickel. Get a War nickel. And an AU War nickel. Staple up that War nickel. Keep it nice. And I knew that would happen, so I already had my staples out ready. Tonight and next Tuesday or Monday are both 74 deeds. And he has chosen a nickel pack for each of those. So we'll do one each night. So for your nickel pack, you got your AU War nickel. That is a 43 out of Philly. We have your regular War nickel, and that is a 45 out of San Francisco. Hey, you got 3 Vs. Awesome. Got a Liberty V nickel, 1902. Then you have 2 Buffaloes, and you have a 35 out of Denver, and a 36 out of Philly. That one's out of Philly. So not Denver, but Philly for both of those. think we're probably good on drinks. We had quite a few. Get it? Black cherry fresca. Yum yum. Which was, I believe, AG Bellows BH Smoker. So you guys get your name on the wheel. '74 also gets an extra entry on the wheel because it's his box. I went and took both of my bank and my credit union, some cookies. They were excited about that. No obvious enders, but hopefully there's some inners. So it's always good to take them treats. I did get some new rounds in, so I will show those to you. Got 5 tubes. 2 of them are the same, I believe. And are we at 25 likes? I see 24. I'm sure it's 25 because mine's always one behind. There you know. Just the normal exclamation "Gah." Now we got 29 it shows, so we obviously had a few that had forgot. If you're on mobile, you can just double tap the screen and it will put a like on. I am on live chat. Awesome. Glad to hear that. I do have everything to send out from Monday, which I'll do tomorrow's mail. I have one that needs the ones that signed up for membership for the levels, the level 2 or 3. I will get your sticker, and the other one gets sticker and magnet. I will get those sent out also. The rest of you that had already signed up last week, I've already sent those out, so you should be getting them. Because the searcher gets one of my vinyl stickers. These are good heavy duty ones. And my hunters also get one of my magnets. So I've got those out. Got 20 seconds left. And I need to text my coworker, which is the bus driver for the kids' bus that goes to Grandma's, and just let her know kids will ride to Grandma's. Because they don't like to let kids switch buses. But haven't won anything in a while. Well, maybe tonight's your night. But it was one of those that I basically told them, I don't care what you say. There are more than one divorced couple in town. So if the kids are riding the bus to my place, they will ride the bus, and I am not going to come pick them up. Just because they're assigned a bus, that doesn't mean crap to me. And they basically just backed right down. 74 deeds. Your box, your win. Yeah. But I told him that it was ridiculous that they were going to try to pull that kind of crap. And Make Believe you're way behind. And it was Black Cherry Fresca, by the way. They're doing it more to keep it from becoming a ride service like, you know, Daughter Has Dance or, you know, football practice or whatever. And I guess things were getting a little out of hand that way. But yeah, I told them they will ride the bus to Grandma's or my place when I have them, and you will not bar them. I told them nicely, but also firmly. And so whoever had made up the rule didn't tell everybody correctly, and I guess there was some other parents that kind of had the same sort of feeling, and so they sent out a thing and said, you know, if they're writing to like mom, dad, grandma, whatever, it's fine. All right, see you, AG. I know it kind of looks a little bit fuzzy on that coin, like it's double imaged, but it is the Ring of Death. It was not an ender, so had to have been from before. Hopefully we'll find some good stuff tonight. It's always fun to find good stuff. This is from a different pickup from those other boxes, so it's a surprise on that. But who knows, they could have been sitting in the vault from the time they dropped it off previous, so you never know. All right. I think that's probably enough time to get some guesses in. And you can see that nice gouge right through it. Makes it kind of look fuzzy. It's a 42, but it is not a war nickel. Let's see. No mint mark. But at least we're in the 40s, so that's good. Get that on the board and then see who was the winners. I think so. Go to the microscope here. Yes, it's a 42D. And I see KJ, VMC, and Deeds. Got a kind of a weird, funky one. Some kind of coloring. It's not toning, it's like some kind of varnish or something. Sweet. It's one of those things that you can always put it in and then find a better one later on, and there you go. That's a coin I need. Just wish it would come from one of my rolls. We'll see how everything goes tonight. Did get that 1910 V nickel, so can't complain too much. And like I said, I did get 5 tubes of rounds in, finally. I had ordered them a while ago, and they finally shipped. Luckily, it was before it went up even more. Now you're lucky to find them if at 3 or under. Luckily I bought mine at, it's about 250. Like maybe 225, 250, somewhere in that area. And it is one of those that it was, a dealer's choice thing. And the last time I got them from that seller, ended up with a tube of Trump and a tube of Bitcoin. And those are ones that just don't go very well. This time I got a couple decent ones. I did get another tube of Bitcoin, but it's a different kind. And then I got 2 of the tubes are the same front, but the backs are different. So it's one of those that it's the same for both on them, but the backs are different, which is weird. Okay. A little tired. Not too bad. Hey. Assuming it's Alyssa. Congratulations, you got a membership from Jim Thompson. Thank you, Jim. So you never know when you might win. I got one for a channel the other day. It just, sent me a notification. I was like, oh, that's weird. Hey, Dakota's Timeout. Welcome. If you have questions on anything, what we're doing, I don't know if you've been here before and don't recognize the name, but just ask, and one of the mods or myself or someone will answer that. Yes, if you provide content and are looking for subscribers, you can hit !me, and that will put your channel link up. Oh, sorry, a little blurry, but We make it up. Let's say the way this is going, it might be the same delivery as the Mondays. Hey, Joey. We popped in just in time to start guessing. It's our second find of the night. And it was in roll 8. No, that was roll 8. Which is the one I'm currently going through. And almost an ender. It was 3 from the end. And I need to pull up something here. All right. Can't really see it, but it's a 59. Nice and dark and dirty. So you have a 40s, you have a 50s, and you have a buffalo. And I saw someone say Brian got it. Brian R. Anybody else? Let me know. And Dakota's timeout. I'm going to give you some points so you can gamble. And slots and all that kind of fun stuff. And I was looking something up there, and it's not. Oh well. It was worth looking at. You can gamble. You can play some of the games, heist, slots, all that kind of fun stuff. Jim says 1913 first year. So it's one of those things. It's just free and I get points. You get points for subscribing, watching, like accumulate points as you watch, that sort of thing. Still got guesses coming in. That's good. I'll finish those up. Once I kind of see it die down, then we'll flip it. But yeah, that was almost an ender. It was 3 from the end. All right. Give you guys a few more seconds. Dateless buffaloes, I think I know regular dated buffaloes are about $1. Partial dates I think are 50 cents, and dateless I think are about a quarter. It does have a year. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'll put it under the scope. I would say that's a 1920. That's what it looked like when I saw it when I first found it. So, and the mint mark is, I think it was a nothing. Yep, nothing. So, there you go. Tim got it at 19. Okay. First I was going to put Jim, but then I was like, nope, it's not Jim, it's Tim. And XN250, welcome. Let me give you some points. Excuse me. I know I'm blurry, I'll get it fixed. So for those that are new, if you're wondering what we're doing, just ask and we'll answer those questions. What I do is when I find an old coin from like the 50s or older, stuff that we're hunting for, I put it up there like I did with that buffalo. And you get to put in what you think is the year. And then if you are the closest or exactly on, you get your name on a wheel of names from throughout the night. So all the different guesses and stuff goes on the wheel. At the end of the stream, I spin it. And if you are the winner of that wheel spin, you get a 1 ounce copper round of your choosing. So you do not have to be here to win at for the wheel, because it's a thing from throughout the night. But you do still have to claim your prize, which means you'd have to at least go back and watch that last little bit and see the win. Yeah, questions about anything, you know, some of us are better at some things than others. You've been abducted by aliens 3 times. Did they do any probing? And what I'm doing is I'm pulling out anything from the 50s or older. So you can see we found one from the 50s, one from the 40s. And that is actually bugging me, because I kind of like to go in order. There, that looks better. Oops. So pull out anything from the 50s, any 2009s or 2024s, any foreign, any proofs, stuff like that. Don't find proofs a ton, but we do find them now and then. Found one not too long ago. It was a couple weeks ago. That's 10 rolls down and 3 finds. Too bad that 1942 was not just a little bit newer and been a war nickel. I saw silver was down. Last time I saw it was like about 75 bucks or something. So gold was down to like 4,950 or something when I saw it. It's kind of hard to say, because a lot of people figured, oh, it'll get up to 60, and it went way past that. And other people were like, no, it's not going to hit 100, and it went past that. So I think it's one of those things, just kind of depends on how everything kind of shakes out. I think it's going to be big swings, like it'll be, like 10% type swings like it's been, whereas gold is not as volatile, but silver is a volatile one. So it's one of those that I think it'll be bouncing up and down for a while. It might get down to 60 and then go back up to 80 and kind of bounce back and forth, and it'll be a while before it finally settles down. But I'm not an expert, so I don't try to predict the markets. Yeah, it was one of those that I started getting into it a lot more. It was right after my divorce in 2019, and silver at one point was down to like $13 or $14, $15, and I've been buying it. And then as it got more, I wasn't buying as much. I was working more on collecting, like my barber halves. So I was spending more, but it wasn't on like silver or whatever it was. I mean, it's silver, but more for numismatic stuff. So I got a lot of mine in the $15 to $20 range, and then as it went up and stuff, I'd still buy it, when it was 25 and even 30 and stuff, I was still buying. Once it got over 40, I kind of like, yeah, I'm going to hold off a bit on buying some stuff. I still bought some stuff, but not as much. Hey, you got 3 W's and you only won 400 points? Must not have bet a bunch. It's only, The 25 likes was the owner of this box, 7040. He's got this one and the one next Monday, and then BH, I believe, is the next Thursday. So my first opening is on the 22nd, I think it is. $32 watching, 40 likes, awesome. So I do have boxes available. And while we're doing that, (2009). Let's get that on the board. So that roll had 2 finds. Hey, JC. Yeah. 2009 is a lower mintage. A lot of times they'll have, 80 to 150 million minted, that sort of thing. And those years were, I think it was like 25 or 30 million. So it was a much lower mintage, which just means they're a little harder to find. And usually the lower mintages, like on the older coins, are usually the tougher ones to find, which is why they call them key dates or semi-key dates. So it's one of those that there's still plenty out there, and it's the same sort of thing with 2024. I don't think the P is really worth it. I think there was still a ton of those, but I know Denver, I think, was the one that was lower, but already up at the 42 likes. Nice. All right. We'll let Timmy in at 65. But you're 10 years off. It's 1955. And I did look. It does have a mint mark. A 1955 Philly is a semi-key date. When I first saw it, I thought it was a 1950D, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, it's a 55. Never mind. Kathy Keith got it. Congrats. So yeah, that's when I got into it. Was like I said, I got divorced and nope, thank you. There we go. And just started back into it. I would always collect currency before that. I had a decent currency collection, including foreign currency. But that's when I kind of got into, hey, treasure hunt. That's when I got kind of back into coins, and then I've focused more on coins mostly in the last 5 years, but I still do currency. I picked up BEP wrapped consecutive 2017 $2 bills at the bank one day. I always keep the 76s and the kind of the older ones, but I was like, yeah, I'll take that one. You know, worst is it's worth $200 and sits in my collection, and best it could do is someone wants to buy it, I'll sell it. So sorry. Yeah. Some people are like, how can you do that? Like, do you put each one under the microscope? I'm like, no. I was like, if it's a certain year or what I'm looking for or something that has errors, I'll, pull those out. But no, I don't put them under each one under the microscope. I'm like, that must have cost a lot to get into. I'm like, not really, because I was using my phone. If I needed to zoom in and look at something, I would use my phone. And then I got the hand-me-down microscope. It's a Tomlov. It was a hand-me-down from Pa Spare Time. As we see on the mat. And comes in very handy. You can find them for decent cheap, but you don't have to have thousands or hundreds and stuff like that. If you go to stream, yeah, I how to buy a new computer, because mine laptop that I used when I was doing my master's, getting my MBA, it was way old. It wouldn't even really go much. Like, it would literally take minutes to open a window. So when I decided I'm actually going to start streaming, I had to buy a computer, some monitors, that sort of thing. But if you're not streaming, just a few things, and you can get stuff for pretty cheap too. Like, for example, weighing coins. I just got this little generic one on Amazon. It was like $8 or something. You can find digital microscopes for like $40, that sort of thing. Hey, Mo Money Inc., welcome. Don't have a guy going on right now, but here hopefully soon. There you go. We were talking about one earlier. Usually we find more 09s than 24s, it seems. But there was one night we found like 2 09s and 6 24s or something like that. Still haven't found any. It took me until probably at least halfway through the year before I start seeing like 2025s and stuff. So it took me at least probably 6 months before I found my first 24. The 09 I had found, obviously, just because they had been out, and 24s at one point weren't even made, so. Not a lot of finds so far, but at least we found some good stuff. Not the oldest buffalo we've ever found on the channel, but I think the oldest we found was besides the dateless ones, was a 1914. I get the majority are Denver. Like some of the older ones, I'll find, fillies like, stuff from the 50s, 60s, whatever. But like all the newer stuff, the only ones I find quite a few fillies of are, and even then it's not a ton, some Nifsies. But I went through like all my Nifsies I had pulled out, working on, putting together a couple collections for my kids, and then extras, kind of making a set. And out of like all of my 2018s, not one of them was a filly. And I find a ton of 2018s. So if you need bulk NIFCs, I've got them. Cool. And I've got lots and lots of Nifsies because I was pulling them out to start working on sets, and so I've got plenty of some of them. Like 2018, I've probably got close to 100. $2020, I've probably got, I should say probably have, I don't know, about 40 or something. And then odds and ends for the other one stuff. $20 rolls down. So I posted a video because I still have a bunch that I have that I just need to edit and stuff. Hey Otis. So I finally got around to finishing one of them that I had half finished, and I posted that. That was a members only to start with, and then it will go public, I think, tomorrow. And I haven't really been hunting stuff for myself, and if I do, it's usually during a live stream, like after the nickels. So after the nickels are done, and I'll hunt a box for myself after. So I haven't really been filming it. I guess I could take snippets of the live, but so that was a good one. That was, I think it was July. But I probably have I don't know, at least 6 or 7 that I could edit and post. I just need to actually do it. The reason I found that one is because I made that mail call for BH, and it was 1 second too long, so I had to go in and edit it. And while I was in there, I was like, oh yeah, I have one that's almost done. So I then, hey, Lyle. And then I finished editing it and posted it. That mail call video, I've gotten something like 6 subscribers off of it already. So it's weird how some shorts you get quite a few subscribers, and some shorts like no one subscribes on. We'll have a second one after this. Not always, but we do find twofers in rolls. Not like all the time, but often enough. That's getting a little bit there close to going on to the next one. So 23P with a die clash on the reverse right below steps. Cool. Hey, Fervid's Finds. Welcome. Oh, we got a few guesses coming in there. That's good. Alrighty. And that one is a 58. You're way behind, Fervid. Get that on the board. This is a new one. Oh, okay. But tonight's drink was, whoops, Fresca Black Cherry. And let's see, who would have got it? Had 54s. Oh, 58, Smoker got it. Exactly on. Jim Thompson. Exactly on. $20.19? Nah, probably not. Considering it's usually in the 50s or older. But if you want to keep 2019, you're more than welcome to. Oh, this new roll has one in it. Okay, finish up those guesses and I'll put this new one underneath. Yeah, it's not exactly right on. I take whoever's the closest one way or the other. So, like if it was someone had 59, someone else had 57, they both win. Hey, Crafty. It is a 55, and again, there is a mint mark, so it is not the 55 Philly, which is a semi-key date. Get that one on the board. Let's see, 55. We had a 53, 54, 56. Oh, Kathy got 55 exactly. And Jimmy got it on. Anybody else besides those two? Congratulations, you two. Your name is now on the wheel. Oh, names. One more and we'll be at the halfway point. Question is will we have a 50 likes by then? Probably not. The 25s always go quite well. They're fast, but then the 50s, most of the time I hit 50s. All right, now I show 48, so that's probably 49. So if you haven't hit like, if you're on mobile, you can double tap your screen for that thumbs up. All right. I'll let Mark in. It's a 54. I know we had a couple 54s. Let's see. Garrett, Michael, Mike, MLN. Man, we got quite a few actually. So starting at the top, I show KJ, Crafty, VMC, Queen Cody, MLN, Mike S, Michael Rose, Garrett. Yes, I'm blurry. I'll fix it here in a second. There we go. Quite a few that time. Oh, no, I did not put that on the board. Yep, 5. Okay. Got a new one there to guess. Let's see, 52, 46, 52, 49, 54, 50, 56, 56, 56, 52, 40, 46. Got a wide range there. Then we'll have another one to guess after this. There was another one in this roll. So that was roll 25. Hey, Muscle Shell. We'll finish this one up and then move on to the next one. $54. I know there's quite a few that got it. There's our new one. Get that on the board and then see who got it. Since I know I saw a few people. Crafty. Otis. Alyssa. Or Elisa, I guess either one. I don't know. There we go. Okay. I think we got everybody there. I haven't been finding many 64s in this. MLN needs to be unhidden. I didn't know he was hiding. I was going to say, you got the 54 itself hidden, but, or removed, or whatever it was, but. Awesome. Yeah, it said that you hid his comment. Banding. And since I just saw the comment was gotten hidden, but yeah, it's probably just a mistake. So it's a 42. It is not the war nickel. Again. And there's your new one. Let's see, 42. It's one of those things. Mistakes happen. No 42s. We got 41. I think 41s. That's what I'm thinking. So 41, we got Mark Spafford, KJ, VMC, Mike S, Thompson, Lisa, JC, so just a few: Mark, KJ, VMC, Mike, Jim, Melissa, and JC. Just a few. I was saying, it's closest that time. There was no 43s that I saw, because I was looking for 43s also, and I didn't see any. Alrighty. I'll unwrap this one and then we will flip it. Cool. Put JC in there. It's one of our favorite years. 54 again. And tonight, 50s took a lead and never looked back. All right, 54. We got 52s. It would help if I was looking at the right spot, because I was still looking at the one before that. Jimmy, KJ, Maple, VMC. Awesome. And Captain Vic. And if I spelled the name right, not backwards. I put these arrow looking things up. Yeah, still works. I just saw the thing pop up and didn't pay attention to if it was upside down or not. But if someone's watching in Australia, then it would be upside right for them. Well, we got another find. That one threw me off when I first looked at it because it was like, what? Wait. I gotta remember. That's what I thought. Yep. And I'll tell you, the other side is not the regular country name. It's the Latin name or something. It's I'm just gonna go like that. Confederito Helvetica. It's Switzerland, I believe. Yeah, I can't remember if it's like the Latin name or the original spelling or something. But you'll see that on coins and money, like currency. All right, let's flip this one because we got another one to guess. 2008. Very light. The nickel's way more than that thing. So let's see. We got Crafty and Jim T. Nope. Crafty had it exactly on. Jim T was off by 1. Yep. Oops. It's all good. Because I've done it where I've seen the wrong thing and then someone else sees the correct one and it's like, oh, yeah, guess you're right. Crafty's kind of crafty tonight. Getting a lot of the guesses. See, what do we have now? A Buffalo, 40s, 50s, 9, 24, and 4. And we need a 30s and a teens. Yeah, sometimes it's educated guess. And other times it's like, I'm pulling it out of my butt. A 58. I think we've had a couple of those tonight. I know we saw at least one person with it. Yes, it's blurry, and I'll fix it. Jim Thompson, exactly on. Anybody else? BH. And Scott. There you go. Okay. So Jim, BH, Scott C, you're all on there. Now, get back to, there we go. Sounds good, AG. Awesome. We've almost had 2 war nickels. They were both 52, but they were not early enough or late enough. But close doesn't count. Roll 30. Yeah, you don't have to be exactly on with the nuke. Hit that thing. Let's see, what do we have so far? 1, 3, 11, 14. Not too bad. One more like for 50. Sweet. See, growing up in, well, I mean, it was one of those, we were kind of in the area that nukes would be fired in because all the missile silos are up in like Montana and that area. North Dakota and South Dakota too, I think. And then Cheyenne had the Air Force base. I think it was Air Force. One of the bases. Pretty sure it's Air Force. And of course that was a 2.5 hour drive, but and they put them there because there's like no one that lives there. So they're figuring when they, from my understanding, they put them there because the population was way low compared to having it in other places where population would be much closer. And so they kind of figured if someone tries to take those out, we'll lose some people, but the majority are still going to be in the cities. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. It was one of those that when Mount St. Helens blew up, there was still ash being covered where we lived in Casper, up in the middle of Wyoming. I was just a baby, so I didn't know about it, but there was ash that was all over. And that's how many hundreds or thousands of miles away? Oh, I bet being that close. Remember not too long ago it kind of erupted again. Not like it was before, but got another one to guess. Yeah, a lot of times when those big plumes go up, it actually ends up lowering the overall temperature because it blocks out part of the sun. 47. That's a new one. Got it on the 40s. And let's see, who do we have? Got 49, 46, 48, 49, or 46 and 48. Since they're one on both sides. So 46 was Kathy. And 48 was Queen Cody. Mark. MLN. I had Kathy with 46, and Queen Cody, Marcus, and MLN with 48. And then after this, we'll do the 50 likes. I just don't want to do it right in the middle of it and have it go crazy. But I'll unwrap this one at least while we do it. Whoa. All right, now you can throw it up. I bet it got dark. All right, we got Otis in there. Yeah, I'm going to do the 50 after I get the names on this one. 46. 1 year off of the war nickel. Did anybody get 46? Yes, they did. KJ got it exactly on. VMC got it exactly on. KJ and VMC. Okay. Now we can do that. The only one that can't win this one is 74. Because he won the 25 like. Because you can win a regular GA, and you can still win the wheel. Because that's a separate thing. Hey, JJ. You're just in time for a GAW. Dollar J. Liquors. Hey. Got just over a minute left, so if you're getting in, get in. If anybody's lurking, they're welcome to get in also. I did get some new rounds. Got 5 tubes of rounds in today. Finally arrived. So we do have a few more selections. Luckily I got them before they went up yet again, so I was still able to keep them decently low. Because now you'll be lucky to find them under 3. Most of them are between 3 and 4. And some people are even trying to sell like 5 and 6, and some of the sites have them for like $8. So winner is Smoker. I think you won the other night. Congratulations. I can actually tell you, because I got one to send out to KJ, Brian Robinson, Jim Thompson, Shannon Smith. Oh, Smoker, you got the sticker with your membership level. So I can send that at the same time. That's nice. And then David Kenham has his sticker and magnet. Hey, Michael. A little bit late for that, but welcome. I think everybody has points, but if you don't, or run out, which is highly doubtful, you can get more. Sweet. I think it was a dragon, if I remember right. I'm trying to think. Seems like there was a couple things. I still do have plenty of 5-ounce rounds, so if, I can always show those again too. So I did get an offer after shipping and tax. It would be the 5-ounce Yellowstone, but it would still be my cost on it would be 20 bucks, which means I'd have to sell them for 25 to cover the fees and then make a couple bucks. And I don't like selling ones that expensive because they are harder for people to buy. That's why most of them are at like the $16 to $19 level. But if I can find them for cheaper, if they were $5, I could have been like, yeah, I can do that. Like $5 less per round. But me buying something for almost what I'm selling it for just doesn't make sense. The color, yeah, it's the it's well, I'll just go like this. It's like this. That's the one that it was. I can't remember what it is, but like I said, if I could find it for $5 less than what they wanted, I would have probably done it. Because then that means I could have sold it for 15 or 20 bucks. Yeah. Just like the 1 ounce rounds, I'm not spending a ton of money because if people want to buy some, if I'm spending more, then I have to charge more. And it's more of kind of a fun thing. So like I said, these 5 rolls I picked up, and literally like a day or two later, everything went up by close to 25 to 40%, depending on who the seller was. I think I got these for $2.50. And then I was like, I should get some more. I went back to get more, and these were 239 with tax, so 240. I went to go get some more, and they were at 400 for 100 of them. I was like, what the crap? I literally just got these like yesterday. Well, bought them. I still want to have them, so if someone wants to buy some, you know, they're price only raised just a little bit. Welcome back, AG. quite a few names on the wheel tonight, I think. We're already at 48. We've still got another 11 rolls to go, plus everybody who wants on. Yeah, it was like copper had gone up like over $6 a pound, and like I said, even some of the coin sites that sell the copper rounds, some of them are trying to sell them for $8, and close to 90% of all of them that were on the sites were sold out. Because there was like some that were still $1.99, and I'm like, well, I can get a bunch of those, but they were all sold out. I was like, for $2, that's decent. You know, after I paid taxes and shipping, about $2 1/4. But it is what it is. All right, I think that's probably good. We'll let Kathy Keith in. As I say, I know there's at least 2 people. Another 46. And I know that we had, I think it was KJ, Kathy Keith, no, VMC, and KJ. Okay, I thought so. And so the 3, KJ, VMC, and Kathy. See you, Jimmy. Thanks for coming. Appreciate everybody that stops in and hits like, subscribe. Got Kathy Keith became a new member thanks to Jim Thompson. Oh, nice. In my brokerage accounts, I've been waiting on the stupid tax stuff for all the dividends and like capital gains and all that kind of thing. I didn't sell anything during the year, so I don't have to worry about capital gains, but all the dividends and that sort of thing, interest. Been waiting and waiting and waiting. Without my sales on eBay from selling those 2025 Denver halves, I would have actually been a loss for the YouTube stuff. Which I was expecting, you know, have a loss, but ended up not being a loss. Because the inventory and everything I was giving away, mailing, because the hunts really don't make a ton of money. Ooh, we got two. All right. Let's flip it because we've got another one behind this one, and then we have another one behind that one. This one's a 47. That's the new one. The 40s are coming back. Let's see, 47. Got 46. And 48. No 47. So 46s and 8s again. Smoker, Queen Cody, KJ, VMC, Mike S, Kathy K, Jim Thompson, JC, quite a few of you. Take a drink and then we'll probably be ready to flip it. So get your last guesses in. $58. I saw Mike and 74, and a few people get it. But there we go. Now let's see who got it. I saw a couple people. JC. Whoa. Let's do it on the wheel. There we go. JC 74. Lysa. KJ. VMC. Jim Thompson. Michael Rose. And Mike Schleiz. And Marsh, you'll probably want to guess again because the only years it can be is a 42, 43, 44, or 45. So if you guessed 48, you'll probably want to retract that one and put a new one in. Same with you, Kathy. It would be a 42, 3, 4, or 5. So if you put a 46, you will automatically be lost. So if you two, and Marsh and Kathy, we can still get those in. And that looks better. Yeah, if you want to get your new year in, 42, 3, 4, or 5. You got 43. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to flip it. It is a 44 out of Philly. You know what else we need? So 44s. I know we had a bunch because there's only a handful of years it could have been. Crafty got it. Fleabag. Scott. Alyssa. Yenny. Captivate. There we go. Crafty, Fleabag, Scott C, Alyssa, Yenny, and Captain Vic. If I missed anybody, let me know. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 rolls left. Yes. 74 is using some of his emojis as a member to throw that V up there. But that is not the V nickel that we're looking for. Because if we get that V nickel, you get the nickel bounty. At an angle, you can see the 5 and stuff a lot better. Same thing with the back. At a little bit of an angle, you can see the shield on it. Very worn down. It's cold, but and you can't use your V-nickel out of here. Sorry, but can't do that one. All right. Get the last of the guesses in, and then we'll flip it. Got some good ranges of years. 38 all the way, or 39 all the way up to 50s. cut it at Yenny. 46. And we had a few 48s that I forgot to look at mint mark on. So we'll have to take a look at those also. What was it, a 46? Yes. So 46, we got a bunch of people. Brian R. Crafty. KJ, BMC. And Marsh. Kathy. So before I even forget about it, yep, that's what I got. Let's see, 46, 47, 46, 46, 47, 42. I guess it was 58s that I had. So I guess there isn't any to look at on that. And yes, there are Henning nickels and I need to go through all mine. I'm sure I have some, but I've never actually scoped any of those coins. One thing I would like to find is a hobo nickel. That'd be cool to find. I don't even have one. Yeah. See, I would also love to find a 75 high D. That's kind of one of my, I don't want to say bucket list, but something I would love to find. A coin that opens the magic coins. I just use a glass and shake it like in a cup. You can get bang rings, but it took me many years to find my first magic coin. And then after I found my first magic coin, within another month or so, I found another one. And since then, I've probably found, I don't know, 6 or 7. In one box, I found 1.5 magic coins. Yeah, that one that Walker found was, that was crazy. I found our first 63 Philly. Nickel magic coins. I've only found $half. Five rolls left. As I said, I think it was when Pa was hunting, he found a magic coin that was a half inside a, or a dime inside a quarter inside a half or something. And the ones I've always found are the ones with the Mexican coin. And then the half that I found, it must have fallen off because there was no coin on the other side of it. It was just the back of the half. So they must not have glued it on very well. Or epoxy or whatever they use. Second 63 Philly. Yeah, I've never found a blank planchet either. And I thought I'd have a good chance where I had, I think it was 26 straight boxes of 2024 Denvers. Didn't find one. I found light planchets. I have quite a few light planchet halves. I think the lowest one is 10.3. Majority of the ones I find are usually 10.4 to 10.5. That's just like quarters, you know, silver quarters. I've never found one until just recently when I was live streaming. And then the next box got another one. So the one was a 64, and the next one I got in the box was 44. What is the error on the 64D nickels? The double die on the D? Yeah, it's the D over D. So it's repunched. Yeah, repunched instead of a double die. The 64 Denvers have the D over D, and the 63 Phillies have a triple die reverse, a TDR. And I found a few. I found a couple that were questionable. But if it's a hunt for someone like that, if it's not an obvious one, but it's more of a questionable one, I just send it. On my sheet that I keep track of all the costs and everything, I put it down as an extra coin, such as a variety or whatever. So that way I can track because it all adds up at tax time. But I even keep track of the cost of these, the cost of these, the cost of the envelope. I don't do the tape just because I don't measure it or anything. But I keep track of all that stuff. See you, Jim. Last roll. Keep track of my bubble mailers, the cost of those. Cost of stickers. Like I said, with all of the nickel boxes I've ever hunted, I've only found one, and that was my very first box. It's probably 6. No. The easiest way to get into mine is either just slice it down the edge, like cut the edge. It's like if this is the letter, either slice it open or cut it open. Because if I have sticker or anything inside, that's inside the card. So if I ever include something other than that, and I don't tape it right up next to the edge so that someone can cut it. All right, we got our, we got to go to the scope. Excuse me. Once you see enough of them, you can tell which ones are, immediately tell which ones are damaged. Hey, Silverman. So we had our Switzerland, and our 2024, and our 2009. We had a 58, a 58, a 54, 54, 54, 55, 58, 55, and a 59. So 3, 5, 8, 9. Is that what I have? Yes. The regular 40s, 46, 47, a 46, a 46, a 47, and two 42s, non-war. So 2, 5, 7. Yep. And then the real stars of the show are the war nickel. And the 1920. Doesn't look like there's a date, but there is. So we have a so 21 fines, not too shabby. Yeah, and that one there is like way light. It's probably like aluminum or something. So there's your fines for today and your nickel pack. And I'll set those over to the side for when you get your next one. The oldest. Who got it? It's 39. Oh, 36. Oh, a 32. So far, a VMC with the 32. Oh, BH with the 28 and 74 with the 28. That looks like your oldest of the box. 74 and BH. They both had 28. They were the lowest ones. Just double checking, but everybody else is like 36, 32, 38, 40s, 41s, 37s, 36s, 30s. They're the only ones in the 20s. Welcome, TVMJR42. And Renee, welcome. So right now I've got Brian R, KJ, VMC, Isaiah, 74, Crafty, Scott C, Muscle Shell, Queen Cody, Captain Vic, Yanni, Alyssa, Mike S, Silverman, David C, BH, Mark S, Smoker, TVMJR42, Fleabag, Kathy K, JC, New Marshall, Garrett C, and Renee and me, and Maple Leaf and AG. And Michael Rose. I always like to just kind of go through them in case if I did miss anybody, they can be like, whoa. And Marsh. Silverman, we got you. All right, I think we've got everybody. And while we're doing that, let's go to, since it's the end of the regular part of the stream, we have 110 names. Excuse me. As usual, when the DHC gets up right, we'll spin. VMC. Congratulations. See how many times you were on there. 110 minus 10. So congrats. I'll show you the new ones that I got. I've got the usual ones as normal, but the new ones, I do have this Bitcoin now. I still have my other Bitcoins too, but I have this is one of them that has a different backs. It's the 1933 with that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. This one is the 1933, but with that back. We have Year of the Dragon. That's the Bitcoin one. Whoop. And then the other one, which is, I've got duplicates of that one. I saw someone said that'll work. You're the dragon. Okay. So, like I said, I still got those other ones, but these are the new ones that I got in. And while I'm still doing this, I'm going to go back in and resume it. Which one was the Irish penny or whatever it was? Is that number 15 maybe? You're welcome. Oh, there we go. So I do have number 15 still. It's the last one. Can't remember who asked if I still had it. I think it was VMC, but I can't remember. You'll take that one instead? Okay. That wasn't you? Okay. So you want that one instead. Okay. It's the last one of that. Oh, it was you. Okay. So you now have that one. And like I said on these, I know I'm out of some of them, which is 10, 15, 17, 23, 4, 28, 9, and 30. I get 33. Which one would you like? I've got this back, if it'll focus. or the eagle. They're both 33. This 33 is a little easier to read than this one. It's a bigger one. So, I want the eagle. Okay. And that was Smoker. And VMC wanted eagle also. So VMC, I've got that one, same thing. Yeah, I was pretty much happy with the ones I got. I just want to make sure I got the eagle one. Yeah, eagle and the eagle. Okay. The only thing I wish was I didn't have 2 tubes of the ones like that. I would have rather had 2 of the eagle, but yeah, oh well. Actually, I'll leave these out because someone might want it. Okay. I need to really update that, but right now it's still the same copper pick, but I can tell you the ones I don't have. 26 people, closing entries, picking a winner, and it is Kathy Keith. Woohoo! Kathy's lucky tonight. She got the gifted membership from Jim Thompson, and she won the end of stream copper round. So we'll go through that part here in just a minute. Can't remember if you've won before. But send me an email, dadhuntscoins@gmail.com, and with your name, address, and what round you would like. If you saw one of those new ones, or if you know which one you want that you've seen before, you can throw it in on the chat also. But I can always send this picture. Like I said, I know I have some of those are gone. Number 10, 17, 15, 23, 4, 28, 9, and 30. So I can send that to you, or you can always go through any of these other ones that I have. So the new ones from tonight, all those are up for grabs. And then falling everywhere. The other ones I have are Bitcoin, 2 different kinds, and then all my other ones. So I'll just show some of these. Fear the Jackalope, Air Force, Aim High, Fly, Fight, Win, USS Constitution, Old Ironsides, Abominable Snowman, COVID-19 2020 pandemic, got a Lincoln with weed on the front. I've got a 39 seated, and I've got a 36 seated. I've got a buffalo front. I've got a same thing. I've got an Indian front. I've also got the buffalo and Indian on both. Walking Liberty. A few of those. The buffalo with the Indian. Yeah, thanks, Coin Cody. Love having everybody there, and I'll open some halves probably here afterwards. Merc Dime front. Got the 1907 Indian. Got a 1911 Indian. Got Peace Dollar. I've got No Date seated. And that's about it. Besides the ones on the sheet, I do also have Indian head scent, and I've got a Trump that's on the sheet, a Walker's on the sheet, and a Buffalo Rounds are on the sheet. Awesome. So is there any of those that you saw? You can always email me if you don't want to put it in the chat. Either way is fine. And the buffalo, yeah. So those are your choices. got to label those. So I got your email, but it didn't have the one you wanted. Did you want the picture of that? And I can always show close-ups and everything of all those too. Like I said, I know I don't have 10, 15, 17, 23, 4, 8, 9, and 30. So let me know on that one. 74 deeds, this is yours. We got Lyle Okamoto. KJ, Brian Robinson, Jim Thompson, Shannon Smith. Smoker also has your Searcher. And then David Kenham. So these are all ones that I'm going to be sending out tonight after the stream. At 74, I'm just going to set yours off to the side. Just moving some stuff around to make room for my box. Let me do this. Number 3. 1, number 2, number 3. Okay. General Flynn. So, for those that want to stick around, question is, do you want to see half dollars or quarters? I guess I could make a poll, but if I remember how to do a poll. There we go. And don't bother with the yes or no. It wouldn't let me take it off, so. Voted yes. Yes, keep going. Okay. Looks like halves are winning. Out of, looks like 15 people in here. So we'll do a box of halves. Unless it drastically changes in the meantime. There we go. And I did drop them, so the box is already half smushed. Oops. I do have one more box, but I'm going to keep that in case the kids want to hunt any halves. Nothing jumping out at the first glance, but they are 25 pounds. Boxes of halves are 25 pounds, box of quarters is 25 pounds, a box of nickels is 22 pounds, a box of pennies, which I can't get anymore, are 18, I think, and a box of dimes is 15, I think. So when I go into the bank and I get 4 of them, I will carry all 4 of those out at the same time. The bank I started getting them, I asked them if I needed to get an account, and they said, no, we'll just order them. So I still set up an account. And then the credit union gets me have sometimes. This last time, the bank got me 4 boxes. They were all brand new 2025 Denvers. So I'm going to see if I can sell those again. The credit union were all circulated. But the problem is I don't usually find much silver anyway. So I never have the, I wish I could get pennies. But yeah, I don't find a ton of silver. Last year was kind of a fluke. I was at 0.4 silvers per box, and then in the first half of the year, and in the last half of the year, I ended up at 0.8. So I doubled the amount. The members only video that I posted, it drops to public tomorrow. but you can go watch that one, and that's a box I found 490s and 240s in. Well, 2 boxes. I do average about 18 Nifsies per box. The last 2 boxes I have not averaged 18, I've averaged 15. But overall, I'm usually right around that 15 mark, or 18 mark. And for me, either way is fine searching halves or quarters because they're worth the same amount. $500 a box. I've asked my bank if they would order me 4 boxes of halves because they get a delivery every other week. And I asked my credit union if they could get 4 boxes of halves. And the last time I walked in, the bank had 1 box, and the credit union had 4. So before I went into the banks, I didn't have enough to do all my hunts that were already bought and paid for. But now I do have enough for 74s, BHs, and then a couple more after that. And Nifsies, of course, are 2002 to 2020, along with 1987. It's got a whole bunch of new ones in it. 2018. The thing is, I don't find hardly any 2018 fillies. They're like 99.992% Denver. And I need a couple 18 fillies for the Nifsies collection. Usually I find a lot more 74 Denvers than 73 Denvers. In the last few boxes I've been finding about twice as many 73s as 74s. So yeah, I'm not expecting a ton out of these, but in fact, I can do this and tell you. My halves for this year, I have 0 silver out of 10 boxes. Which is a little strange. Last year I had 50 silvers out of 64 boxes. So that's, like I said, I don't ever really expect silver, which is nice when it finds it. But yeah, the last 10 circulated boxes have been 0. I find W's and proofs for the quarters, and actually found 2 silvers in boxes this year. First ever. Haha, woohoo. That was actually on a live stream. And that was when I pulled that one out of one of the rolls, along with the silver. But I did a members only post, and I went to the bank, and they said, "You're the coin guy." And they handed this to me, and they said, "This is fake, isn't it?" And as soon as I saw it, I said, "Nope, it's a silver proof." And they're like, "Oh, so it's not fake?" I'm like, "Nope, and if you want to sell it, I'll buy it." And they said, "Okay." So I bought it for 50 cents. So I find out that they were throwing away the rejects from the coin machine in their lobby. And like I said before, it's not there, so they don't care what happens to it. Like for me using it and stuff. But I found out that they were just basically throwing them away. And I was like, I would take them. Like, yeah, most of them are like foreign. I was like, I don't care. I would take foreign. I was like, I'll take anything. And they're like, oh. So like the one time I walked in and they got a Merc dime for me. Oh, okay. See, at that angle you can see an FG, but at that angle it's not there. That's why I was like, does that have one or not? Because I couldn't tell. Yeah, well. 2018 and a 2019 misc. Oh well. And it's mostly one of those that I open up after the stream, that way I can still hunt and do boxes without having to film them and edit and post and I know that some people want, hang out and they just watch, it's relaxing or whatever. I've never been a big ASMR person, but it'd be kind of interesting to do one where you open an entire box like this without saying a word. I don't have anything special mics or anything that a lot of people use. I just have my webcam. Hmm. 2014. The way I always open them is I take my knife and right where the seam is, like this part of the wrapper, I just slice through it. Sometimes I'll rip a piece off. That's what I do. make sure I have my shirt for tomorrow, so we can wear jeans on Friday, as long as it's like us in the business office. You know, the nurses can't, but there's a polo that they gave us that I like to wear with it. I can't remember if I washed it or if I just put it in the laundry room because I didn't have enough at the time. I guess we'll find out. $2018. $2018. When my kids call here in a minute, I have to remind them to ride the bus to Grandma's because their cousins are going to get here way late tonight. My sister is coming up with her family. 2018. So I have to remind them to ride to Grandma's. No, no problem there. Just mailing through a box of halves that, if it's anything like the rest of them, because I've done 10 boxes of halves this year and have had 0 silver. I did have a DDO. Hadn't found one of those for quite a while. not sure if I want to still do the send everything out on Fridays or do them after each stream usually. I'm kind of leaning towards do it after each stream because doing all of that at once, it's just kind of like, it's like, is it worth saving $1.30 or whatever it is? Because it only cost me 30 cents more to send a double. So like if someone wins 2. So, I don't know. Some of it will always change as you go along, and kind of figuring out what things work and don't work. And yeah, because with the postage for one, it's like $1.52 or something, and for 2 in one envelope, it's like $1.81, so it's like literally 29 cents more.
Your son is attempting to reach you on your cellular device.
the plans for tomorrow, I guess, changed. My daughter's going to a friend's. I guess their stepdad's going to pick them up, and they were going to ride the bus, so I guess now they're going to get picked up, and then when my daughter is ready after her friends, because they're going to exchange Valentine's gifts and stuff, I'll go pick her up and then take her to grandma's and then go back to work until I finish there. So I'll just take a late lunch. So, as usual, it's always something that gets changed last minute. At least I found out ahead of time instead of like 10 minutes before. So that's why it was a little longer than normal, because we had to go over the new plan. But I figure I can still hunt while I was talking to him, instead of just having nothing. Huh. That's cool. It's amazing what they come up with as things happen, just like in medical. Instead of doing CPR and having people get changed out because that gets tiring, if you're doing it correctly. Now they have what's called a Lucas machine, and it's kind of a, I think AG knows it, but basically it's like a thing that you strap on, like put them on, and it does the CPR, so it has like a backboard type thing that you strap it, you put it under the patient, and then you strap this machine that does the pumping, and you basically strap their hands to the machine, and so it looks like they're holding it, but of course they're not. But it allows them so that they can not have to have additional people and, like I said, switching out and stuff like that. They are not cheap. We have one in the ER and then one in the ambulances. I don't know if it's each ambulance or just the main ambulance, because they have the main ambulance, and then if they need like backup or something like that, or if they do a transfer, and if they're that critical, we don't send them by ground. See, $900. That's not bad when you consider what it does. The Lucas machines, I think those were 20 grand. I just think the idea of having it deployed and then doesn't like suck the oxygen or whatever, obviously, you have some suppression systems that are like, halon and things. But that's cool. Well, it's one of those things that if you're doing CPR, number one, they're not doing very well, and they're more worried about keeping someone alive than if they're already injured or whatever. But it also is better for the patient because it does it at a steady rhythm, and because if people start getting tired and then their rhythm gets off a little bit, it just keeps it going at a steady rhythm, and then it can pause and then see if it's a shockable situation, because you just don't shock everybody all the time. It's the machine basically reads and then says, shock advised or whatever. You've probably seen those. Same sort of thing. They can pause the machine and then it can monitor, and if it's not, then it keeps on going. But it allows everybody to be doing more things instead of, oh, just unwrapped. You got a 40, a 1968. First silver out of 10 boxes. Has 0. Now we finally have one. But when people are doing CPR, it's one of those that it seems like it's about every 3 minutes or so they're swapping out, because that gets really tiring. I mean, I've seen guys that are doing it, and yeah, what the heck was that, Kevin? But yeah, I mean, it is very tiring if you're doing it correctly, and it just makes it easier for everybody. 2 more rolls. I was, like I said, not expecting anything out of the boxes, because 10 boxes have had absolutely nothing, except for I think a DEO in one of them and a handful of miscs. There's a few of them. I don't know if there's any particular one, but I know that, yep, I was going to say, the one that's kind of ironic is the Staying Alive. I could see it in my head, but I couldn't remember the name of it. That's what I was trying to think, and then you popped it up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I guess the rhythm for that is about what the correct beat, compression, ratio, whatever. And there's a few other songs that I've heard, but I don't know if there's like any one that's better or not. That's why the Lucas machine, you don't have to worry about it, because it does all of that stuff for you. And it's really weird to watch someone when it's on them, but I got called in one night. I think it was like right before 5 o'clock in the morning. They called me and said, we have a ambulance out, CPR in progress. So I was like, okay. And you know, on those, you don't waste. Oh, there we go. That is the DDO. Not the greatest one, but still, it's DDO. I usually flip them just so they don't get accidentally, like, you know, you go, what's this sitting out here for, or something, and I find if I flip them, I don't have to redo stuff, like have to relook at it and be like, why is that out? Like, did I miss it? Did it fall on the floor or something? Well, yeah. I had one night, they came in and said, hello, and then immediately typed, shut up. And, of course, the mods were immediately on it. It's like, you can joke around and stuff, but don't come in and be disrespectful. I don't know how much DDOs are going for anymore. I know at one point they were going for more than silver was. And see, of course it couldn't have been a very nice one like that one. Yeah, I had one person, I posted a video and they left a comment and said, "That's so fake," or something. And I replied back and said, "I don't stage any of my stuff. I open them as I get them, if it's a good box, a bad box, or whatever." And I said, plus, whatever the thing he was talking about, I was like, you can tell when they're staged, and I don't do any of that crap. I said, I hate it, and I'm not going to do it just to try to get some clicks. I said, I want people to watch my stuff knowing that it's genuine. And he ended up writing back, "Oh, yeah, okay, sorry," or some stupid thing like that. Yeah, I don't get, like, coming in and saying fake. It's like, how am I going to fake this? Like, oh, look, I found this, and hurry and stick it in a roll? I mean, come on. And there are a few people that come in every, now and then or whatever, and you see them right at the end of it, and it's like, they're just here for the giveaways. But yeah, all of my videos, the only one that I've, I guess you could say staged, is my short, where I washed my quarters, or my halves. It's kind of a funny one. It was a idea I had one day, and ended up doing it. I was like, they always say, tell you not clean your coins. I said, I don't know if I trust them. I said, I've got 2 boxes of $half here, and I'm going to try washing them. So I put the whole boxes in the washing machine, just set them down in there, and then I said, let's see how it turns out. And I cut to it, I open up the lid, and yeah, I pull out a box of quarters. And I said, well, there's still 2,000 coins, because a box of halves has 1,000. So I put 2,000 coins in, but now they're only half the size and only worth half as much. I said, I'm afraid if I put them in the dryer, they'll shrink even more. And I said, I'm not going to take that chance. So, of course, people liked it. They were like, you're an idiot. Like B-Waller, he was just like, you're such a goof, or something like that. So, yeah, if you get bored and want to watch something, then there you go. There's someone showing a video with unwrapped roll in there, had halfway through, they pull out a silver quarter IHP. Yeah. So we got the 40, got an 18, a 6, an 18, an 18, an 18, 18, 14, 19, 18, 18, and 18. That is the link to that short. Plus, I have them all on my page. Only 11 nifsies, but I'll take that with the 40 anytime. I'll just see if I need any of them for mine, and if not, then I will put them in the set I'm building for you. Yeah, on my page I have playlists of all my live streams, all my quarter hunts, all my $50 hunts, nickel hunts, whatever. They're all in playlist. So you can always find them on there, but I was like, I know exactly where it's at, so I just went to my stream and just copied the link and did it. Yeah, that's the only one that was staged, I guess you could say. But that wasn't a regular thing. It was like a haha thing. Yeah, I always had just the whatever it's called. It's the goatee without the beard, the mustache part. So it's just the chin in that. And I'd always had that, but then I don't know what it was. One day I was just like, I'm going to grow my beard. And so when I went up to the cabin, I, of course, didn't shave that entire week. And then came home, and by that time I'd already had like 10 days of growth because of the weekends and all that. And so then I was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep it. So I trimmed my mustache down because I hate mustache. I hate it. I hate having it. So I trim it down to when I buzz the top of my head. So it's not very long, but yeah. I was gonna say, I think you've probably seen the Halloween costume. I put on all my biker leathers, and then I put on a rhinestone and a Santa hat and a crown, and of course I have my rock star, but totally biker leathered out. Everybody thought it was kind of funny. Whoops. And that's probably a little longer than that now. But yeah, that's my ugly face. If I have something for a giveaway, can I send you an email? Yeah. Yeah, I've had people send stuff like, like I have stuff for BH that I'm gathering and sending up to him from other streams. But yeah, like if someone has like like if someone makes something, wants to give something away, kind of like a hey, I make these doodads. Can I do a giveaway? I would, sure, I'll do a doodad giveaway. But it was coming up with the rounds that I was just like, what does like no one else do? And that's when I was like, some copper rounds. So that's how I came up with that, because it's like no one else gives out copper rounds. So yeah, I'm just glad with that. What is silver at now? It's 75, I think. A 40% is $11.35. Nope, $11.37. Because the sheet that I have, it updates automatically for both gold and silver. So like a quarter is $13.72, 90 is $27.81, a Morganer piece is at $66.08. So that sort of thing. Yeah, not a problem. I was going to say it's time for me to wrap up anyway, because I'm done streaming and I've got all this to send out. Yeah, it's one of those, I'm never awake at that time. Because you're also an hour ahead of us too, so 6:30 yours is 5:30 mine. But I do try to watch at least some of it, like on the way to work and things like that. So there you go. Thanks for everything, and we will see you Monday for 74 Deeds second box. So thanks, and have a good night. Yes, I always forget to post his link at the end of it. But yeah, I try to shoot over to him and stuff too. So if you're still wanting to watch stuff, go over to Coin Hunts Texas. He's growing his channel and does pennies and stuff like that, and it's fun. So there you go. All right, we will see you. Good night.